All right, here we go. Here I am coming up on 50 years old, and I still have memories from when I was 2. And somehow, with all the TBI, concussions, traumatic brain injury, had several concussions, and been through the ringer, I still managed to cling to these memories, and they're still in me. So I feel like there's a reason for that. I gotta put them on video, and then maybe I have these memories so I can share them, right? So here we go. I have, like, these early memories. I want to say this was probably 1975, 76. Very fragmented, nothing vocalized by me, not a lot of thought going on. It's just more what I saw and what I experienced. So 75, 76, we're living in Barstow, California. My dad's a Marine. That's where he's stationed, the armory there. My parents have been married 2-3 years now. They got married in 72, 73, right around when I was born, just before. And this is the day we left. I do have memories before. I remember we had this big, I want to say it was an Irish setter. It was a big long-haired lab. But I think it was Irish setter, and I believe his name was Shane, big red dog, and I used to ride that thing. Like, I used to be able to get on his back and ride him. And so let's go into this one. How does this even work? Again, fragmented memories, but I believe I was in a diaper and a shirt, and I was flying around this little toy airplane, and it had the little people that were basically like plugs. You just plugged them into the hole, right? I think it was Play School or something like that. I don't remember. I'll show a picture of the plane right here. But so I'm flying around the house with this airplane, playing with it, pretending that that's where my focus was. But the whole time I was watching my mother and my father. My father had just come home. My mom had people at the house, and they were loading up trucks with furniture, and she was packing boxes and loading stuff into cars when my dad got home from work, from getting off duty. And I just remember them standing in the middle of the living room, and she is just screaming at him. I don't remember the words. I don't remember exactly what she had to say to him, but she was very livid, and she was very vocal. And I remember him just standing there with his hands on his hips. He was still wearing his woodland camo fatigue bottoms, still bloused up. His boots are still bloused up tight. Just has on his white undershirt that you would usually wear under your BDU. People are familiar with this military uniform. So he's just got on the white shirt, the camouflage pants, and his boots, and he's got his hands on his hips, and he's just staring at her, and she's just screaming at him. And I'm trying to understand what's going on, but still trying to pretend I wasn't paying attention, because I know I'd get yelled at if I got in it. And then the next scene that I flash to her and remember is we're in the back of a pickup truck sitting on our couch, and my mom's holding me on the couch as we're driving away. 1975, 76 is illegal, right? You can just ride on a couch in the back of a truck like Beverly Hillbillies. And standing in the door of the base housing is my dad. His pants are now unbuckled, so that beige belt with the little brass or black buckle, depending on what belt he was wearing, is slightly unbuckled. Pants still on, and his hands were just up on the door frames, and you could see the sadness in his face. And as we drove away, that was a hard one. To this day, I don't talk to my mom much. I'm trying to. I really want to try and foster some kind of relationship at this point in time, but to this day, I've never. She never said a nice thing about my dad. She constantly, growing up, he wasn't around a lot. He was a Marine. He traveled a lot. Had to be stationed overseas, whatnot. And also, my mom moved around a lot, so they weren't always in the same city. Very rarely. But it was it's a hard thing. Your parents divorce, and then them not being amicable. My mom never, ever, like, seriously. Now every once in a while, like a few times I have talked to her in the last few years, where I was like, why did you hate my dad so much? She would say, I don't hate your dad. I'm like, I got more stories for you, and you'll see my point, right? And to be honest, like now, I've been going through a lot of schooling and learn a lot about myself and a lot about her and a lot about my family. And it really comes down to psychological issues and generational trauma and psychological and mental abuse and possibly physical abuse, that she suffered as a kid. I don't know, she's mentioned things here and there, but it kind of set the tone for growing up, and I'll share more stories. But that one's weighed heavy on me for a long time. And I've told a few people about it in person, but I felt like I need to get it on video and just put it out there so people know where I'm coming from and what kind of experiences I've had. Because for that to be the first, really that's like the most solid first memory I have as a child. Thanks for listening.